So yeah, the underground funk has got your signature sound. That must have was probably kind of the beginning of that really classic like desirable bump and T sound. And
Mm-hmm.
so what equipment were you using like for the underground funk?
Yeah,
Like
Roland W30.
okay,
It was a lot. I can't remember it all. I had the Roland W30, of course, the Roland Juno 60. I had a 808 drum machine. Um, I had I think it was a Kai. It was an Akai drum machine.
okay,
I had a couple of samplers, and I had a vocoder, uh, and then I had a couple of rack mount machines that were just mini Moog bass and your synths and different things like that. So it was a multi thing, but the main thing that ran everything was the Roland W30. That's what I used as a sequencer.
okay,
So that sequenced everything.
right on.
Yeah, yeah.
All
So
right.
once I got that Roland W30, it changed the game for me. Especially man, when it had the little pedal man that I really like. It did, and I could move that thing all around and change it while I'm playing that and do all that stuff. I love that, man. I used to have
Nice.
so much fun with that.
Yeah.
You can sample with it, and then therefore I could sample other people's drums, the people's music and stuff like that, and put it all in there and change the frequency. So it was yeah. That Roland W30 was my thing.
Tight.
Yeah, that was the first my first taste of digital sequencing. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
yes, sir.
Dang. All right. So shoot. Okay, you put out the underground funk, and so you had that. So at that time, what was going on next, man? Like Grenocide,
Grenocide, yeah.
G side.
CK, yeah, G side. But once again, they're all overlapping.
Okay.
So it's never one, two, three,
Okay.
this thing like that. They're all overlapping.
All right. 93, 94.
Yeah, all so
Okay.
from 93 to 97, it's all overlapping.
Okay. I'll just ask you individually
Yeah,
then.
no, that's cool. That's cool. Grenocide, man. Real G. One of the coolest dudes I've ever met. He could be a tough dude out in the streets. And there's no doubt about it. No doubt about it, man. But when I tell you, man, when it comes to paying my price and doing what it does, he never questioned it. Never tried to beat me down and always other. And when I tell you, when he came into the studio, one of the most respectful guys that you would ever want to meet. You would never think that a guy this tough out in the streets. He come into your home, nothing but a gentleman. Nothing but a gentleman. Nothing but a gentleman. And he was probably one of the most wonderful experiences that I had. He was fun. He was artistic. He had great ideas, and he knew what he wanted to get out of his music. And when you listen to his track, you'll see that with each artist, even though it's still me producing, you'll hear that it's different. The style is different as far as how he wants to project it, and that's because of the cadence of his voice and him and CK Ron. So unfortunately, he got himself into some trouble, and I think he's doing 25 to L right now. So I don't believe that he's out. The last time I heard a communication from him was I believe 2 years ago through his wife, and she told me to tell him told he told he told her to tell me hello through Facebook, and I said, no man, your husband, man, that was my guy, that was my dude, and I wish he was out here with us now, man. And but no, that was a very fun project. I thought it was a very good project. And I thought people got good reviews from that project, man. The energy was good. Him and CK and Carl Kinsey, CK Ron, man, his style and what we did, man. I mean, just phenomenal time. Like I said, all those songs, even those songs, man, everything 4 hours.
Yeah.
We very rarely went over 4 hours. Now they would go away and I would tweak something, but I'm talking about the meat of the song to get it all done and the raps and all that other stuff. 4 hours.
Right on.
4 hours.
Damn.
Yeah, yeah, man. Yeah, man. Go ahead, shoot.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
G-Side Maniac, man, it does have a lot of good reviews. I mean, a lot. If you like look at the YouTube comments, people are just like, "What happened with this guy? And what's up with this album? And this is so hard." And yeah, that turned out great.
Young dude just got caught up. The
Oh,
puzzled mind of a maniac.
man.
Yeah.
I like that song. I'm on a rampage.
Yeah, right. That boom, 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 boom,
Yeah.
doom, 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 doom. You see what I'm saying? It's the different style with all the influences that I told you about, and the one big influence that I didn't tell you was Kraftwerk. That's probably one of my biggest influence in music. Too Short, Kraftwerk, Roger, Prince, Rick James, and Queen. Not so much Queen just for a little bit of stuff because they just thought differently, but really those main five, if you really listen to my music, you're like, how could they be an influence? And then if I listen to the music, I can tell you where the influence came from or the energy. I just love the way that they put stuff together because I felt like all those artists were always different. Always different, man. But yeah, man, that Rampage. And that was the slow voice. That Rampage. Sped up the tape to record it and then slowed it back down and gave you the deep voice.
Sides in the motherfucking house. I got bumpin' teeth mixing this hard ass dope shit. So I know this shit is finna come hard and legit. Yeah. About hard to manage. That new crew y'all finna get used to. That's me. The young Paul Carey, the short stopper. We finna come dope in a motherfucker. But right now, here's some more of that rampage gangster shit. Y'all better get up on this and go buy this. Cause this is how we living in the sack town. Yeah. Now here comes some lines from the mind of a heist nigga. Suckers play me close until I toast the day I pull the trigger. They talking shit, I'm making hits, but why they run your mouth? I'm just a black and checking my strap so I can take you out. Don't get me wrong because I'm strong, I'm not like bulletproof. But understand I'm so compelled that now I tell the truth about you suckers when you're getting at me in threes or fours.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rampage. Yeah, that's a classic, man. Who was in Affiliated Click? Can we talk about them and
Yeah.
recording that album?
Maul B, his cousin, they're all family. His cousin, why am I fit? Larry, thank you. His Larry. He wound up having twin daughters, and one of them wound up being in a relationship with my nephew who went to the NFL, and then their cousin, oh my goodness, her name was Alizé, and then so that was Affiliated Click. But then they had the Bomb Squad, which was the younger family. So they were all Beavers in the Del Paso Heights area. So it was from the Beaver family. And then the Bomb Squad was their little brothers and younger cousins that were like 2 or 3 years younger. But when we recorded their album, and they were all 15, 16 years old.
Damn.
Just young kids. And Maul B is probably, that kid was so talented. So talented. So talented. And still is talented. And the story with them is, man, when I started producing them, I knew they were it. There was beyond a shadow of a doubt. You know when you know something, you know something. And it took my own manager to rob them of their mind. I told them, you guys, people are going to come and tell you stuff. I told you, I said, I'm not going to try to sign you guys. I said, I know what it's like to have a person sign you and try to keep you. I said, if you guys want to be with me, I said, let's stay. Let's grow it together. I'm older now. I know what to do. And I'm still in my 20s. I said, I know what to do. I know how to get this and do X, Y, Z. I got the connections now where I can at least get us in the door to do things the right way. And we started doing some shows. They started making a little name of themselves. And my own manager was the one that stabbed me in the back. We did an EP. That's when I quit music. I was so hurt and so disgusted that they came and they were like, with my manager, saying, oh, Tyrone, you're doing this and you're doing that. I said, you guys, we have not signed anything. Oh, you're getting this, and Bruchelle says this. Her name was Bruchelle Tafoya. Bruchelle Tafoya. had an album that would work. You go listen at it. You have it. I think you have it. Or go to Flossolini. Flossolini has it. You listen at that EP. Listen at it, 1996, and you tell me if that EP couldn't have matched anything else out there. So my own manager, who I thought I could be able to trust, who I never dogged out, who knew that we had something great, she wanted to take them for themselves and told them that I would never release the DATs. I would do this, and which was right, that I own the music, but I never signed them to anything. They were kids. I was talking to their parents. I was above board about everything. There's nothing that I did with those kids that their parents did not know.
Yeah.
And so, like I said, Bushel Tafoya went behind my back and sold the kids pie in the sky. The kids come back to me, and you ask them. You ask Maul B, and you ask Flossolini. You can ask Larry. You can ask Alizé, because they know more of the backstory than I do. And I never faulted the kids, because I told them, I said, people are going to come. They're going to say this. They're going to say that. You guys just stick with me and watch what we are able to do. There's certain things that you just know. We had it. They had it. They would have had everything that they needed to be successful in this business. So we met one day. I drove out here to Oakland, and we're all from Sacramento, but she was out here in Oakland. And she said, well, they want to be released. I'm like, well, there's no releasing. Well, they want the album. And I'm like, why? Because of this and that. And I looked at the kids. I'm like, you guys, I said, really? This is what you want to do? This is what you guys want to do? They're like, yeah, because this, and we don't feel like you can do enough for us. I said, you know what, you guys? I said, okay. That day, I signed. That's the only music that I ever signed over completely. And that was the day that music died for me. And that's why that happened in 1996. I reached we haven't talked about Slumpulation yet. We'll get there. But shortly thereafter, in 1997, I gave up music. Shut down my recording studio, gave all my equipment to Big Time G. $20,000 worth of equipment at that time. He said, just go. Y'all leave me alone. That killed the music in me, because I knew I had it. And I'm like, if this is how music is, for money, I don't need it. That's why you see I can be the way that I am today. I've never been a money dog, a money mongrel. That's the word I want to say. I've never been a money mongrel. Never has been about the money. Money comes, money go. I've seen so many people die for money. But yeah, but that really hurt me. So, Affiliated Click, love those kids. Love Maul B to this day. If I haven't seen Larry in years, I think he got in some trouble and went to prison. I believe Alizé is still doing her thing. Not doing music-wise, but, got a family. So if y'all see this Affiliated Click, man, just know that I loved y'all. I believed in y'all, and I believe in y'all so much. That's why I signed over that album that never got released. I don't know what happened to Bushel Tafoya. But if she's living, God bless her. I don't have anything against anybody. But if y'all want to know why I gave up music, that's why.
Damn. That's too bad, man. So they thought they could do something better elsewhere.
With her. But
Yeah.
she sold them a bill of goods.
That's shitty, man. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, music business sometimes can be shitty.
Yeah. Man.
Speaking of shitty, we never talked about street stories.
Yeah, man. Okay, so we want to hit SMG real quick, and then we'll do street stories, right?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
fine. Yeah.
All right, so how'd you meet Freddie and Doobie from Strawberry Manor Gangsta? How'd that come
All
about?
from the same hood. Strawberry Manors and Del Paso Heights are just subdivisions of the same neighborhood.
Okay.
So I'm from the Del Paso Heights, but my early years, I was in Strawberry Manors. It's just a road called Norwood that just separates the two neighborhoods. It's two subdivisions of the same neighborhood. So basically, we all went to the same high school.
Grant.
Now, yeah, we all went to Grant. You know, back then they did have a high school that was called Norte del Rio High School, but they closed that high school down, and so now Strawberry Manors and Del Paso Heights, they're all at the same high school. So you got Bloods and Crips and all that other stuff are all in the same high school. You know, that made for a volatile situation. So I met them through family, through people that we know. They were just young kids of the neighborhood. I'm the neighborhood producer. So everybody coming to me for, to get their beats. So we met those young kids through people in the neighborhood. Remember, Robert Brookins, who was discovered by Earth, Wind, and Fire. Him and his brother had a group called Afterbach, and Robert was the keyboardist for Earth, Wind, and Fire when they went on tour. By this time, I had signed a production deal to do some albums with Robert. SMG was one of the groups who came in to record. So that whole album, or the small EP, should I say, that was all recorded at Robert Brookins' studio. So that's how, I already knew them as young kids, but then we're all part of the same, once again, we're all part of the same melting pot. That's how I knew SMG. I'm a G, SMG, man, I'm out here gangsta family. And once again, man, they're all just young kids. All just young kids.
I'm a G, I'm a G, man, I'm a big gangsta family. I'm a G, man, I'm a big gangsta family. I'm a G, man, I'm a big gangsta family. I'm a G, motherfuckers don't know. Now your motherfucking ass got smoked with a fofo. Straight off the western block, down for the caper. Bend your back, twist your cap till they get my paper. Shit is getting hectic, but niggas always ripping. Talking about the Glock they got for taking us whoopings. And niggas ain't knowing. G kick them sickly, homicidal psycho. Coming.
Yeah, man, I love that EP.
Yep. Mentally disturbed. Yeah.
Now, some music I forget. That one I'll never forget. That. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Back once again, it's the mentally disturbed. And those kids, man, were so talented. But once again, like I told you, I never had any bad dealings with any of the artists other than just one time. And we'll talk about that. But SMG, those guys were so fun in the studio. They were so compliant, so respectful. Anything that you needed for them to do, they were going to do. And they would spit their lyrics, man. And you can listen at their voices when they rap. You can hear the joy in their voices when they're behind that mic. And if you could see the expressions on their face that I can see right now in my mind's eye, man, it was all joy. When they were doing their music, and I'm going to say even that with Grinaside, do you know that when everybody was doing those songs, they were safe? Just think about it. Soon as they left those doors, man, they was back in the world doing what they was doing. But all while they were in those studios, my studio, Robert's studio, anywhere that I was producing, they were safe. They were happy. Nobody shooting at them. Nobody calling them a dog. Nobody doing X, Y, Z, blah, blah. They spitting, telling their stories, sharing their lives with us. Yeah. So, yeah, that was a wonderful experience, man, with those cats, man. And Robert was manning the board. So Robert Brookins, and that's one of the things. I'm one of the few people, man, who is a nobody who can say that he had a top flight producer who produced Bobby Brown, who produced on all these albums, was with Earth, Wind, and Fire, had them at their fingertips. When I went to visit Robert in LA, he's living in the same building as Vanity. You know what I'm saying? He's sitting there engineering my song. Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Damn.
And privileged to call him friend. Because how I knew Robert is our house was just a block away. So his family house, which is still there, just right here, around the corner, right there, that's our house.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Yeah.
Right on. Alright. Shit. So yeah, and by the way, rest in peace, Freddie Huntley.
Yeah, Fred. Yeah, old Fred, man. Oh, man. Yeah. But we lost too many. How many times do we have to say that?
Yeah.
How many times do we have to say that, man?
All right, man. Shit. All right, so. All right, how about street stories, man?
Street stories, all bad.
How'd that come about, man? How'd that?
Okay, so there was this guy. I'm not gonna say his name, but started his own production company. You know, like everybody wanted to do, get into the game. Got together with a lot of the local rappers, you know, and was going around. Was like, hey, I want to put together a compilation. You know, compilations were big back then.
Yeah.
And so let's go ahead and compile these songs and get it together. I want to print it all up. You know, things sounded good and stuff like that. And so apparently, you know, really took a liking to me. So he wanted to sign me to a production deal. So I went ahead and signed a production with him, okay, to do some future stuff. Because what he sold me was pie in the sky. Like I said, I'm still young. I'm still in my 20s, and I'm not really knowing any better. And actually, I was in my mid-20s. Mid-20s. And not really knowing any better, man. I signed with him and thinking that he was going to do right just by the people. So we're putting together the compilation. I submit him some songs. And Bowlegs had a song that was on there called Captain that we had spoke about before. And so he wanted to sign Bowlegs. So all that part was fine, you know, doing the signing, getting together. And he puts out the tape, right? But he leaves Bowleg's name off of the credits. Now remember, Bowlegs is best friends with my cousin, Young Dre D, who I produce Two Black Bastards. That's all during the same time of Two Black Bastards. And so that's one of the songs that didn't go on the album. So because Bowlegs didn't want to sign with him, he left his name off the credits on the album when it was released. Bowlegs, knowing that I'm signed with him, because we're friends, basically family, all our families know each other. Bowlegs gets pissed with me. He thinks that I have something to do with that bullshit. So I'm telling Bowlegs, Dre's telling me Bowlegs mad. I'm like, Dre, you know I'm not that kind of dude. I don't do that to people. That wasn't my fault. Bowleg wasn't having it. You know, Bowleg, he hood. I'm hood too. He a different level of hood. He deeper hood. Okay? So one day we're having a record signing at a local record store, which is Andre King, which is Jay King's from Club Nouveau. This is his brother. Had a little record store in the Heights.
On Marysville?
On Marysville.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. You're good.
Next to Big Paul's East.
Next to Big Paul's.
Yeah.
Wow, man, you're really good, man. You know your stuff. So you know my story lines up. So one day I go in the store, we're doing XYZ, Bowlegs come in and he's mad. I mean, fighting mad. He cussing at me. I'm telling him, Legs, man, I didn't do this stuff, bro. Why would I do that? He's so mad and he's so far gone, man. He swings on me. So you got me and Legs, who we're friends. My cousin is his bestie. We're fighting. Physical fist fight in the store. We're rolling all around on the ground and XYZ, blah, blah, blah. When I get up, Bowlegs goes to the car and he brings back this long ass machete. If Bowlegs see this, he'll remember. So he got me fighting with my cousin's boy over BS that I never had nothing to do with. This production person. Bowlegs comes back and pulls it. I'm trapped inside of the store. If Bowlegs wants to stick me, there's nothing that I can do. Nothing that I can do. Luckily, by the grace of God, Bowlegs doesn't do anything. He comes, by that time he got the machete. I ain't fighting and I ain't in the fighting mood no more. All the fight that went out of me. So he mushed me in the face and then he left. And Dre, was like, hey man, you better get out of here, man, before he go get a gun. So I leave. Later on that night, I was able to talk to young Dre D and let him know. And he was telling me, hey man, he mad. He think you did this. I'm like, Dre, dude, I would never do nothing like that to people that I care about. That's not my get down. Nobody can say that I've ever done anything like that. So I'm still working on the Slumpulation, right? It's not released yet because, you know, you working on music. So I go to this dude. Now, the Slumpulation was supposed to be the album that I'm doing for Old Boy, for the production person for Street Stories.
Yeah.
So he had some little offices on Mac Road. So me and my boy, I hope I didn't say his name, but if I said his name, cut it out on this video. So me and my boy who was with me, I said, man, I'm going to go get out of this contract. So we go to his offices. He in there alone. And needless to say, he didn't want to let me out my contract. I told him, man, you got me beefing with family. I don't beef with family. I don't trip over stuff like that. You did this. You released me out of this contract. So you're like, nope, I'm not going to let you out of the contract, stuff like that. So needless to say, we spent about 30 minutes alone with him in his office. And when I left, I had my release. That's why I say it was all bad. And that's the only time in my music career that I had somebody disrespect me like that. Other him and Bruchelle Tafoya. After that, I was done with the music industry. I was done with the music industry. If you got me behaving in a way that I don't want to behave, and you mistaken my kindness and niceness for being fool or for being weak, I was done. I was done. So I told my big time G, I said, man, this is the last project I'm doing. He said, okay. I said, when I get done with this project, man, I'm gonna give you all my equipment. I gave it to him. Didn't sell it. Gave it. Like I said, $20K worth of equipment, man. You just gonna take this equipment. If you still believe in music, man, you go ahead and do that. I'm done. That was it. The last rap album between 1997 and 2015 that I ever put out. Damn. As the classic Bumpin' T. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That was all bad from two people, two raw dog, nasty, vengeful, hateful, greedy people. Got me beefing with family. Because we're all part of the same neighborhood, man. We family. Mm-hmm. You know, with the Beavers. Those kids believed in me until you came. Bowlegs, Dre D, they believed in me until you came. That's why I didn't do any more albums with them. Mm-hmm. And you heard the Two Black Bastards album. That's a good album. Mm-hmm. It's a good album. So, yeah. So you had that story on that, man.
Man, that's crazy, man. Jeez. All right, let's talk about C-Dub.
Yeah.
How did you first meet him, man?
Once again, C-Dub was introduced to me. I believe, I want to say Affiliated Click or RD, but it was one of the people who I was producing said, hey, heard this young rapper, I want to bring him to the studio. And I was producing towards the end, I was producing a lot of people. Affiliated Click. Oh my goodness. Doing Chuck Everlasting's album. Mm-hmm. I had just did SMG's album. Mm-hmm. I was working with The Groove, doing all their stuff. We never really completed a full project, but I was working on the Groove stuff. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Raw Deal, Granocide.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, I was really pumping out a lot of stuff. C-Dub. Man, this young, tall, old, 14-year-old white kid comes in there to the studio, books some time, and just spitting game. Fire.
7 o'clock in the morning, their mouth never really up into their sunshine. And thinking of back when rats attack, and giving they best to Jack White. Jack on side, refusing to be a victim of a 1 May 7. But the man they gave it the mapping thing to the pack of the Mac 11. Thought I was sleeping, wanna be creeping like I'm a surprise for everybody. The weekend's crazy, how many shells to match them dead ass bodies? We can't even get that chill on Saturday. The park is full of nothing, drop cuts off blunts, then the AK spray. But I'ma stay paid, damn bitch made fools get sprayed. I'm grade A-1, tell me why you wanna floss my way. Yeah, like the hustler cartel. Got the back down, south sack, OB strap stacking mail. Sacramento, California. What's up to my folks? Give it the death of the side of town, but I do that, I'm on ya. It's getting difficult to make a grip. Watch your back and play your haters afterwards. That they thank you for that night if you slip.
So that's how I met C-Dub. The first day I laid eyes on C-Dub, he walked into my studio, and they called it the Funk Shack. Because it was a little bitty shed with no air condition, just a vent in the backyard of my house. And when it got hot in that Sacramento heat, man, everybody came out funky. The music came out funky, and so did your body. So Affiliated Click affectionately called it the Funk Shack.
Okay.
I believe it was Alizé. But yeah, so that's how I met C-Dub, man. Yeah.
Okay. Man, okay, so he came in there and he was like, I need some beats.
Yeah.
And you guys put together just another Saturday in the park.
Just another Saturday in the park.
Yeah.
Oh man. And after that, then I was just like, man, let's just keep it going. Let's just keep it going.
Yeah.
And then we were just trying to crank out song after song after song. And I believe we got up to 7. You know better than me. I believe
we got 8 of them.
8.
8, yeah.
So we got 8. We didn't do any more than 8.
Okay.
And by that time, once I gave up the music, I did his dats, and I believe I gave him the dats. I can't remember who wound up with the dats.
I think his buddy Filthy Rich.
Filthy. Okay, so now Filthy. Thank you. It was RD and Filthy Rich, because now Filthy Rich and RD is family. So that's who brought him over there. Remember I said I couldn't remember who, but I said RD, but it was Filthy.
I thought so. Okay.
Thank you. Yeah, it was Filthy Rich.
Okay.
So Filthy wind up with the dats because he was the one that was fronting the studio time, and man, I was just so blown away. C-Dub and Affiliated Click. If I could have stuck with those 2 kids. Those few kids and the Bomb Squad, because like I said, you never really got a chance to hear the Bomb Squad. Dude, we could have put Sacramento on the map. And I know Brother Lynch Hung did that in Said Scene with Black Market Records, but I believe we would have gave them a run for their money. In different style and different things, but I believe that if we could have got the production value and the different things as I grew as a producer and learned more, I believe that every bit that we could have gave them a run for their money and putting Sacramento on the map, because I had those kids were doing things. If you listen to those albums, they was doing things just different. They were just different, and they were young. Some was out in the street a little bit, others were not. But man, C-Dub was an awesome young kid, man. And once again, we was just all in the Funk Shack, just vibing, just knocking out songs. And C-Dub, when he came in to spit his rhyme, he didn't miss. That dude was dead-eye.
That's dope.
He was dead-eye.
Yeah.
He didn't need many takes. He didn't need a whole lot of cut-ins. He come in, spit his stuff, just like he do now. Come in, you knew what you was going to get out of C-Dub. And he delivered, even at the age of 14. Man. And the cool thing about that is then he started reaching out to other people. So San Quinn wind up coming in and did a track. I can't remember the name of the track.
Sack to the Bay.
Sack to the Bay. From Sack to the Bay, we could all get paid.
Yep.
Him and Sky Skurs.
Do you think that you dealing with? I be the niggas from the dirt that kick the realest shit. From the Sack to the Bay, we can map with AKs. Spray a lay, yo, take a sniff of yay, yo.
From Sack to the Bay, we can all get paid. Spray if you's a hater, shake it for your paper. From Sack to the Bay, we can all all get paid. Sprayed if you's a hater, shake it for your paper.
Yep.
Yeah, came down. So that's the only time that I got to meet San Quinn.
Okay.
Was the day that they came down to the studio, man. And San Quinn was a cool dude too, man.
Nice.
Yeah, like I said, there was nobody who ever came to my recording studio was disrespectful. Respected my wife, respected my kids. Came through the house, they obeyed the rules, man. Stuff like that, man. We just really had a good time, man. Really had a good time, man. Yeah, especially that was really dope, man. Thank you for bringing that up, man. Old C-Dub.
Right on, yeah.
yeah, he's a good dude to this day.
Yep. Yeah, so that's basically a lost project.
Yeah.
I mean,
a lot of them are
you
lost
know?
projects.
Yeah.
Affiliated Click, lost projects. Even though Flossalini has it, lost project. C-Dub, lost project. Oh my goodness. Also
Genocide.
Genocide, lost project. Because they were never technically, I don't believe, officially released to tape or vinyl. I'd have to follow up. I know SMG was released.
Yeah. Like, yeah. I think Big Time G and H Wood, I think they ended up taking with those masters and doing the CD. The Affiliated Click Hogamy did eventually come out on a CDR.
Yeah, a CDR, but it wasn't official.
Right.
It wasn't with me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When I say official, it was with me.
Yeah.
I was part of the project. I knew what was happening, and I got a physical copy. You know, so I know they were selling the music later on as they were going around and stuff like that, and that's why I appreciate H Wood coming back and just saying, hey man, here's a little love offering for all the thousands and thousands of dollars that I made off your music.
Yeah.
And you never asked for a dime, never tripped, never did anything, man. Here's some love and I appreciate you.
Right on.
Yeah.